Hi, Internet viewers. This is Frank Rauscher again. We are marching on doing the cardinal. I marked up all of the breast feathers in the last video, and what I want to do now is show you how to relieve these. We're going to raise them slightly using a bullet, which is a diamond burr like this. And it's bullet shape, and I'm going to use the tip and follow the lines that I created here. We're just going to raise it slightly. So let me take you and move the camera down so that you can see exactly what I'm doing, and then I'll pick you up when we're at that location. Thank you. Okay, here's the bullet bit that I'm going to use. It's a diamond bit that's shaped like a bullet, and I'm going to put that into my ram grinder, which is a micro grinder. And I don't know if I explained this before. This is what it looks like. This is an older style. I do have newer ones that are digital and everything else, but you can control the speed, and you turn it on here and you can make it go forward and reverse. So these are ideal for doing the type of work we're doing now. So I have it on full speed, which in most cases is about 45,000. It could be 35,000, and that will work out just great. So let's see. All centered up here. I don't know if you remember, from the edge of the bit down an inch, I put a line through here yesterday, or I should say in the last video. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to come on the back side of the C, and I'm going to undercut this, and I'm doing it very slightly. So I hope you can see this. I'm just undercutting these just a little bit, just so I get a slight raise on the back side of the C. And I'm not going that deep at all. It's almost like I'm tracing it with the point of the bit. You actually get into you gotta make sure. One of the things you can't do is this. You can't just do it this way. If you don't have contact onto the piece, you don't know what your depth of cut is. So you have to get your finger on there to sort of be like the guide that gives you the feel for how deep you're going. Now, if you're not doing this perfectly, that's okay. It's just you want to start getting a lift all the way through there, and it's ever so slight. I don't know how much of the camera's picking up, but as we get away from here, I'll press probably a little deeper. Right about here, I'll start going just a little bit deeper and lean a little bit more. But I'm not going crazy. It's not like I got to go down. It's not even 30 second. It's very light. Now I'm going to do a portion of this, and then I'm going to show you how to texture when I get done here. I'm going to do the whole piece this way, all the way through down to the rump, from the breast feathers. When you come over to the wing here, you stop short. You know, you don't go into the wing at all. And this gives you a nice lift. And if you don't stay on the pencil line, that's okay. If you're behind the line a little bit, that's okay. You'll see when I go to do the next stage. And the smaller the feathers, sometimes the harder it is to undercut. So just take your time. I'm making this look easy. And as you come down and it rolls, it works with you sometimes. But I always keep my finger on here. I'm like guiding this and feeling as though I have real good steady control. And if you don't do that, what you're doing is you're hitting and missing. You're trying to, it's like you're being bounced around, like you're on a road with a lot of bumps. You can't control it. So I've done so many there, and what I want to do, again, like I do with the wood burning in here, I don't show you everything. I want to show you just what I do to get started. So I'm going to do the rest like this, but I want to show you initially what happens now. What you can do, if it's helpful for you, is if you lost some of the detail, come back in with a pencil to go into those valleys. They're very slight, I understand that. And what I want you to do is to come back. I'm going to pencil some of these. But I'm going to do this to all of them so you can see it. Now, I could see it, but maybe on the screen, the camera may not be picking it up. So I run the pencil through that channel I just made for these feathers, okay? And I'll do a couple more here, but I'll do a lot of them. And the reason why I'm doing this is I want to soften some of this, okay? So watch me on this now. I'm going to come in. I'll pick a feather right here, like this one right here. I'm going to come up on the front end of what was that, there's like a two-edged channel in there. It's one side and the other. I'm going to do the back side or the front end of this feather, I should say. And just take it down just a little bit. And I'll do a bunch of them where I'm just softening it. I'm not even trying to dig. I'm just letting the bit walk a little bit. And I soften the front end, which is not the C. What I mean by C, this is the back end of the feather right here, these here. This is the front end, so everything on the leading edge is what I was trying to project to you. Okay, and I'm going to do a few of these. So, look at this all good. Well, where it goes up to this pencil line, don't worry about the front end. That's okay. Because what we're going to do up there will take care of itself later with another area that gets burnt, but not like the ones we're not going to burn these. We are actually going to texture this with bits, and I'm going to show you how to do that here shortly. So, okay. think I got enough here to demonstrate what I'm trying to do. Now, I'm going to turn this around, and to see, which is the back end of the feather, I'm just going to soften it ever so slightly. It's just about touching the surface, just to smooth them out a little bit. In case you want a little deeper in some spots, this makes it a lot more forgiving. And I'm going to do the group I did here. I'm going to do some down here. I didn't do the pencil work, but I could see it. I would recommend put the pencil in there in that valley so that you can know where the bottom is and you have more control. Another thing that you don't see, I'm wearing what they call optovisors, which is a magnifier I have that sits on my head, and it's very helpful to see close-up work. So I would recommend that when you're doing this type of work. And where I see it, it's raised a little bit more, and I didn't get the bump out with that little channel edge. I come in and I soften it. Okay. You're trying to have it look like it's dipping up in the front a little bit, and it's rolling on the back end, and you end up with a feather that sort of dips in the front and dips in the back, and it has a nice rollover. So I'm going to do a couple more here, and then what I'm going to do is show you how to texture this. And this happens pretty fast. Not fast, but it's an easy way of texturing the feathers and not by burning. And I like to do this in the breast feathers because the breast feathers is what I look at as a little more of a rougher area, even though they're all soft. When in nature, all the breast feathers are always soft and downy like, but for showing the bird off, I find that the way I approach this next is it's not the smoothest, but it gives you a real nice look, and I'm going to show you that next. I'm going to, let's see, of course I didn't keep the bit out in front here. Bear with me 1 second. Here we are. I'm going to get, this is a white stone, okay? They come in 200 grits and 400 grits. It's tapered, but you can use a barrel shape or whatever. I'm going to change this out. And the thing I'm going to do in the area of the feather, and I'm going to show you one that's pretty large so that you could see it. Here's one right here, and here's the other ones around it. This is the one in front of it, and here's the one, but I'm taking the biggest one. What I'm going to do with the bit, I'm going to turn it on a 45-degree angle. This is like squared up, this bit. So I want to use just the corner to do the texturing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this from the top here, but I'm going to actually mark this up with a pencil. I'm going to strike the bit down the middle like I did in this area here, but I'm going to do it with a bit. I'm going to strike through, and I want to go past this whole outline of the feather just to soften the front and the back. And I'm going to start up front here, and I'm just going to go through each feather